So this is Keelan's slew of videos.
There's no. Don't say that. You asked for videos that are, just
I literally
randomly just
asked you
type.
for videos and you gave me a slew of
Yeah, and
videos. So
I typed in UK documentaries, and these are all the things that popped up, and I just thought,
these are
I'll
what
just
I'm
send you these
saying. These
random
are
links.
Keelan's slew of videos.
Well, don't try. I don't own these videos. Right? Like, you know what? Fuck it. They're my videos.
I don't own these videos. Nobody is thinking that I'm saying that you own them. I'm just
No, what
saying
I
that the
mean is,
reason why
if
we're
they turn
watching
out to be
them
shit,
is because of you. You have to eat that. If they turn out to be shit, you got to eat that.
don't judge me.
There will be judge, just like there will be blood.
My name's
It's
David
prisons.
Navarro. I spent almost 10 years in prison for a string of offences, including armed robbery and selling drugs. This is the story about what life's like inside, filmed by people who've been through it. There are knives, drugs, and a lot of violence.
Bro, where are they getting this footage?
Everything good? Everything good?
What?
And there's loads of mobile phones that have
What
been
did you say
smuggled in.
Better know about living like this in jail, boy. We've got packs upon packs.
Bro, there should be some COs fired for this shit, bro.
Like many other prisoners,
don't give a
I
fuck.
filmed what was going on and posted it online. When you're sat at home scrolling,
UK
you might
prisons
think prison
compared to
life
the
is
US
mindless
prisons,
violence,
they're like
getting
hotels,
high,
bro.
and vibes.
Nobody
But is that the whole story?
Yes. What's going on? You alright, yeah?
For the first time, we'll hear from ex-prisoners who filmed themselves inside.
Looking good, man.
Looking 10-10, yeah? Good.
They share the unfiltered reality behind their social media profiles.
People make it out like that's how it is every day. It's not like that at all. It's real at the end of the day.
I also talked to a former government minister about the state of prisons today.
Now, I'm
Do you
not
have a knife
pretending
into his
that
hand?
everything in the garden is lovely. It's a huge
Or a
challenge.
shiv?
When you get out of prison, the challenge has only just begun.
People from the outside don't know what's happening inside.
This is what it's really like behind bars.
The secrets of prisons, right?
After serving my time, I've learnt from my mistakes and I don't plan on going back. It was horrible. That's why I
wouldn't last
started
2 seconds.
documenting prison life with a
You think I wouldn't last 2 seconds in prison? I think I could last at least 2 seconds.
In a UK prison.
Hold on.
mobile phone. My content became so popular that I even made an online series to stop others from going down the wrong path. I like to get stories from different people. I also host a podcast, talking to other reformed prisoners to stop people from making the same mistakes we did. Delinquent Nation, Prison Diaries. There are over 94,000 people locked up in prisons across the UK. Most of them are men. In England and Wales, the most common offence that people end up inside for is violence. Across the UK, there are over 28,000 prisoners aged between 18 and 29.
The wing's gone mad.
I'm about to meet someone who knows what it's really like in prison.
What's going on? Oh, yes, man. Are
You
you
good?
Yeah, man. Good to see you.
Dean's a good friend of mine. We were locked up together. We were 25 at the time.
I'm always camera ready, you know. I'm all right, isn't it?
Dean served 5 years for armed robbery, but now he's out and he's turned his life around.
It's crazy. This is when I thought I was a rapper and that, like, you know, this is inside prison and that.
I was in the hood, in that web I got caught. I'm on the tech. I'm
It
trying
looks
to
completely
pack
different.
my set.
Looking back at that,
Bruh, I'm not gonna lie. You know, the British rap is just kind of trash to me. I've heard some good British rap, but even still, I'm like, man, like whatever that shit was trash.
I'm on the tech. I'm trying to pack with my set.
look,
The look at these niggas in the background too. Why the niggas got the fucking? Why are their faces blurred?
Because they don't want their faces to be shown on camera.
Oh, it's not because they're killers.
No, they're in a completely different prison.
He's not in prison right now, is he? He's out, right?
He's out now, but this video is of him in prison.
Yeah, but when you said he's in a completely different prison, I thought you were like...
No, I said killers would be in a different prison.
Oh, damn. Really? They have different prisons like that in the UK? They have
there's like more serious prisons.
I mean, I guess we have that too: high security, medium security, low security.
Killers and sex offenders, I believe, are in the same prisons.
Probably wouldn't be a good place to put them.
Maybe that's the reason why they put them there.
Got caught, I'm on the tech. I'm trying to pack with my set.
Looking back at that, how do you feel about that now?
Embarrassed, bro.
You're embarrassed?
Yeah. At the time, it was cool. I got a very good response. Don't get me wrong. But when I look at it now, and I think about, like, because I've done a lot of developing since I come out, and I'm saying, that don't look so cool.
Dean isn't the only one making music videos in prison. From the outside, it might seem like everyone's having a good time.
People make it out like, yeah, life hit me then. You know what I mean? Life really hit me then, bro.
And I know you've got some footage of...
I mean, and I'm not ever saying that there are no real niggas in England. God forbid. There are real niggas in England from top to bottom. It's just, I don't think that there are as many as in America. If you look at real
America is a bigger place overall anyway.
Is it?
Obviously, there's going to be more.
Do you think there's more butt fucking in English prisons?
Nope.
I thought you would take that. I thought you were going to be like, yeah, man, you're way more likely to get butt fucked in an English prison.
Going to the funeral, being allowed to go out to the funeral.
And you can see, like, officers there, I'm in handcuffs, people dragging me away and that. No?
How did you feel turning up to a funeral with two strangers handcuffed to you?
Man.
I know all eyes is probably on you.
That was so
They wouldn't
embarrassing.
even let you go
like,
in fucking America.
And my auntie told me, she's
like
like,
a
look how you
direct
come
family
and
member, they will
embarrass
let
me
you go.
in front of
You
my
have
friends.
to have
and
two
that.
COs with you.
It
And I'm
depends
saying,
on what
like,
you did.
real,
They
you
don't
know?
do it in they don't
I
do
don't
it
feel
in
like
America.
I grieved properly.
Oh, no, if it's like a petty
But
crime, they'll let you go. If it's
I
like
got
murder,
to say,
you ain't
like,
going.
bye.
At the end of last year,
If you're deemed a danger
there are
to
over
society, they're not gonna let
16,000
you
new
go.
arrivals entering prison in England and Wales for the first time. When I was in prison, I asked other prisoners how they felt when they were first locked up.
I fucking hate that.
I remember,
They say asked. They say asked instead of asked. It fucking pisses me off.
Oxed. Yeah, no. I remember my uncle was in prison for 25 years. And I remember one of the pettiest arguments I ever heard him get in with my auntie was because she bought a pie from like Walmart or Walgreens or something. She bought a sweet potato pie and gave it to him. And then she told him that she baked it. And then she was like, I appreciate the pie, thank you, but you didn't bake that pie. And then, and then she was like, no, I baked this pie myself. What you saying, I'm a liar? He's like, woman, I ain't had lard in 32 years, and you telling me that I can't taste it all in that pie? You didn't bake that pie. That's a store-bought pie. And bro, he started going off. I was like, man, this is the pettiest fucking shit I've ever heard in my life. And he got out when I was 14, 15. He's passed now, man. Rest in peace. If he's in heaven or he's in hell, wherever he's at, he's giving him hell. I promise you that. All right, anyway. So, is this like a thingy to stop people from jumping?
Yep.
How do you get to the floors underneath? Do you like...
The staircase right there. Do you not see it?
Yeah, but do you like duck underneath and like...
Well, no, you don't need a duck. It's set at the right distance away from the staircase, so you don't need to duck.
You just gotta jump near the staircase and it won't catch you. Gotcha.
So then when I come in, obviously I had all of these. It's like a bowl of soup. Do you know what I mean? My head was just like spinning around with all of these sort of comments in my head, and then what my friends had told me, like how I should act in prison. And then as I was coming in, none of it. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't remember anything they said I should do. And it was just like I had sort of a lot of. I was afraid, but I was also excited. Do you know what I mean? And the adrenaline was just going through me.
How did you feel on your first night in jail? First ever night?
I'll be real with you, innit? I couldn't really sleep, you get me? Because obviously I've just come from the roadsides, innit? You get me? I'm used to sleeping next door to my girl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying to you? It's one of them things there, innit? You get me? The first couple of nights are hard to sleep because you're missing your loved ones.
It was crazy, man. I banged out the first night I came in. It was my first time in jail. I was stressed out, man. You know, first time in jail, you don't know what to expect.
Did you cry on your first night?
I would love to say I didn't, but I did. I'll tell you the truth.
Prison isn't meant to be easy. For new arrivals, the worst thing you worry about is violence. Last year, there were over...
Luke is picturing himself. Luke, man, if we ever go to jail together, depending, if it's in California, we gotta act like we don't know each other, join up with the Nazis. I give you permission, just rock with them. All right, I'm not gonna look at you any differently. You gotta do what you gotta do to get through with your butthole untouched, okay? Now, I don't give Keelan the same permission, okay? If you go to prison and if you mark up with the Nazis, I will take that as a personal fucking attack against me. For the simple fact that I feel like you're strong enough and powerful enough to get in with the Peckerwoods, okay?
Right.
You're gonna have to do some fighting though. Alright?
Easy done.
I don't know if it's easy. It ain't gonna be easy. We're catching the fist is
The
hard.
fighting itself isn't gonna be easy, but
Catching a fist is
knowing
easier
to
than
do the
catching a
fight,
dick.
yeah.
And catching a fucking blade, to me, is better than catching a dick. Just in my personal opinion. I'd rather get stabbed than get fucked.
would you rather die than get fucked?
Over 20,000
Yes,
assaults
indeed you are.
inside.
Straight ass cheeks just came in the camera.
Over
then, bruh.
4,000 people aged between 18 and 29 were victims of fights in prison last year. I'm off to meet someone who grew up down the road from me. We also served time in prison together.
What's going on? You alright?
What's going on? You alright?
What you doing?
Dylan first went to prison when he was 18 years old. He's been convicted for multiple crimes, including robbery and drug-related offences.
Interesting.
This is Dylan making a lighter in his cell.
You record this videos while you was inside?
I know, right? Yeah, the fucking
Show
lights
me
in the
something.
prisons are so
This
bright.
is me getting my eyebrows threaded.
Hold on, one second, what does that feel like?
What?
Oh shit, it's hurting, bro.
Okay, this is why I say y'all a little soft out there in England. Niggas aren't
Why,
getting
because
their
you get your
eyebrows.
fucking eyebrow
It's
threaded.
only the gay ones in San Francisco are getting their eyebrows threaded. Okay, and I mean the gay ones in California prison systems, not just San Francisco. California prison system has a lot of transgender and a lot of gay people. But those are the ones that are getting their eyebrows threaded, not the normal ones. That's why I think there's a lot less forced rape in California prisons. I'm not saying that there's none, but there's a lot less because there tends to be a population of trans women that are in there.
Great. I don't want to talk about trans. We have to talk about the UK prison system, not trans people in California.
We are talking about the UK prison system.
No, you're talking about trans in California.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about the prison. Well, no, I said I
You're
was
doing a comparison.
Yeah, I was doing a comparison. All right.
Yeah. Is this what Galilee, fam? Yeah, fam. Bro, what the fam, it hurts, fam. It does hurt stuff.
It hurts, fam.
This is all nuts.
And it actually looks good as well. That's crazy. I've never seen that before.
Pain is The pains are ridiculous.
I've got a video I want to show you as well, and I want to see what you think about it. Have a look at this.
This is me getting
I'm showing Dylan some clips of prisoners giving their advice for new arrivals.
You know, it's how you come across with your manners, how you talk to people, and
then what would you say that they shouldn't do? Give me some more on that.
Don't show, like, I don't know, don't show weakness. Also, don't talk to people in a way where it'll get their back up for you to get a good idea.
You get on the wrong side of people, you will get fucked up. 100%. Like, it's better to be in with people than it is out with people.
Seeing it firsthand, the way people talk to other people, for the repercussions, consequences of that, yeah?
What do you think about that?
It's true, do you know what I mean? In prison, people's anxiety levels, like, anger levels are all on a high level, do you see what I'm saying? Nobody wants to be there. You don't know what someone could be going through on a daily basis in prison, do you see what I'm saying? So even the jokes you might think that are harmless might not be harmless to someone in that situation, do you know what I mean? So you just have to be careful, like, literally, man.
Are there any do's and don'ts?
Want to hear one of the times I really just fucking rethought my life completely? So I was going to school, like, to be an electrician. It's called YOTech. It was like a trade school. And it was one of those schools that preyed on people who were fresh out of prison or, like, didn't get into college. And so, you know, they would get you to sign a loan and they would get you to go through the courses. And 9 times out of 10, you wouldn't get a job in whatever field you studied for or whatever, right? So so on the side note, they had really good popcorn shrimp and popcorn chicken burritos at the taco truck down there. But anyway, we were in, like, the van. It was called the dope van, right? There was this fucking cat named Omar, and there was this other cat named Ernesto, and they both came from San Jose, and they had hella, they would just come up here with hella weed. They sold meth. They sold all that shit. But I was, like, just this little innocent pothead dude, and fucking, I'm in, like, the dope van, and we're fucking blazing, right? We're smoking blunts, and Ernesto shows up with his other partner, and I'm sitting in the back, and it's Ernesto's partner, me, Omar, and he's, like, talking about some shit, and he's like, yeah, man, when I was in prison, blah, 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 and I was kind of like, nigga, you was in prison? What? I'm chilling with a prisoner right now, nigga? What the fuck happened? And so he's like, yeah, you know, when I was in prison, if it was a CO that we didn't like, we would take a shiv and just leave it in a cup of shit and just leave it there for, like, fucking 2 weeks and then stab you with that shit. And whatever we stabbed you in, you would lose it, whether it was the arm, the leg, because the bacteria would fucking eat, fucking, you know, get in and fuck your shit up. You would get gangrene, and they'd have to chop it off. Man, that's fucking, oof, it's fucking rough.
It's for new arrivals in prison.
Rule number 1, don't get too friendly. Be yourself.
Yeah.
Don't try and be someone that you're not, because there's always someone that will find you out.
Dylan came out of prison almost 2 years ago. I'm going to meet someone who's only been out for 2 weeks and knows what it's like inside right now.
There's more shanks and knives in prison that I've seen than I could probably see out here.
Life inside UK prisons isn't always what it looks like on social media. I got out almost 3 years ago, and ever since, I've been determined to show the reality of life behind bars.
This is this meeting that you're on.
It's not much different 3 years ago.
The workshops is in me.
The latest data says there were over 8,000 weapons in prisons, a 12% increase on the year before.
I smashed it into pieces so they get a sharp shard of glass like this so they can use it as a weapon.
I'm tracking down the people making the videos that are all over social media. Like this guy, Nathan, not his real name. He sent me this while he was inside.
Thank you for telling us it's not his real name.
Scalded hot boiling water with sugar in there, skin peeling. I've seen two helicopters land in the jail in one day because a man's been stabbed up.
What's going on, bro? How you doing?
How are you? How you doing?
I'm alright, how are you?
Nathan served over 10 years in prison for violent and drug-related crimes. He's been out for 2 weeks and doesn't want to reveal his identity.
What type of weapons did you see in there?
Me personally, just knives. Just homemade knives. Knives from the road, like Rambo knives to flick knives to butterfly knives.
There was makeshift weapons as well?
Yeah, like razor blades, melted toothbrush, this little pokey, something that's just gonna poke you. Bits of glass that they use as knives, like whatever the weather. Bog brushes, snap, bog brush, sharpened up. There's more shanks and knives in prison that I've seen than I could probably see out here.
Is it?
Yeah, crazy. And they're all makeshift. You can get them from that size to anything that size. You get ones with blades in them, so they chop you in the face. Then they put 2 blades in it, so when they cut you, it's so close together they can't stitch it back.
Do you feel like you have to protect yourself in prison?
100%. 100%. You have to. You say the wrong thing to someone, they'll come in on you. You start speaking too close to the officers, they'll come in on you. It's just like everything you do, it's just a reason for them. 23 hours behind the door, just a bit of excitement, entertainment for the kids.
I showed Nathan some of the footage I've been sent, and it's quite disturbing.
You get me, mate. It's simple. You get me straight home. Zip.
But wet up like.
So what do you need to survive in jail?
Maybe something like, you know, maybe one of these.
Okay.
You want one of them. Yeah, they're about, man.
Kind of crazy, isn't it?
Crazy. Knives the size of my arm.
Bruh.
Them ones are all made within the cell.
Prison's supposed to be like a safe environment.
Yeah.
Well,
it's far from.
Is this necessary? Is it necessary to have these weapons in prison?
For these kids these days that are doing all this gang stuff and they're probably in jail for a murder, the person they've killed has got 100 friends in the prison system. Now they've got paranoid walking around, looking over their shoulder all day. So they've automatically, you try and find the biggest one you got, innit? Because you want to always be one step above the man that's coming for you. So if everyone's got little ones and you've got a big one, 9 times out of 10, the guy that pulls out the little one's not going to want no trouble.
And it's not just weapons. The latest annual records show UK prisons confiscated. And it's not just weapons. The latest...
Man, those are right up somebody's asshole, bro. You know, all of those little tubes are up somebody's fucking ass.
This annual records show UK prisons confiscated over 47,000 items, otherwise known as contraband.
You got everything round here, man. You got everything.
Yo.
Alcohol isn't allowed, but that doesn't stop people making it.
Yeah, they all drink it, not me obviously, but they all drink it. It's called hooch.
Hooch is homemade alcohol.
But distilling.
Made through a process that involves everyday items that are easily accessible by prisoners. The latest data shows there were almost 9,000 incidents where alcohol was found, and over 500 items of hooch-making equipment were confiscated during the year.
Look at it drunk.
Morph served almost 4 years in prison for crimes related to drugs and ammunition.
So I understand you got some videos that you recorded inside.
Yeah.
What happened?
You said he was in prison for drugs and ammunition.
Yeah, if he had ammo, did he have guns?
I would imagine so.
Yeah,
What would you have the ammo?
yeah, I can actually, yeah, I've got them. For instance, I used to brew hooch. I've got this video of me making, well, the hooch is made, it's like we're distilling it. I think it was like Christmas or someday, someone outside had asked me how we were getting drunk. And I was like, oh, did you not know? Boom, like, we do this.
From this to this to this.
To be honest, it was a lot stronger than anything you can buy on the roads. Like, yeah, it was crazy how strong that stuff was.
How do you feel looking back at this now? You're a free man.
I'll be honest with you, it kind of makes me sad because I genuinely thought I was having a fun time. Like, I genuinely, at that point when I was pointing that phone at that thing, I genuinely thought this was normal and fun. When, in reality, I'm sitting in a jail cell with no one. You know, like, and I'm drinking alcohol that I've made for myself. Like, it's not a party, dude.
What would you say the drug of choice is in prison?
Spice. Spice is the drug of choice. Basically, when I first got to jail, it was very funny because everyone smoked spice because they thought it was like a weed alternative that used to come in a green packet and kind of look like weed.
Spice up your life, people, and fuck everybody else.
Spice has been flooding prisons in the UK for years.
Going through more packs than a fucking personal trainer, you know how we do. Wake up.
It got so bad that a study looked into it and found spice was involved in 62 deaths between 2015 and 2020 in England and Wales.
Overdoses on a regular, yeah.
Bro, spice weed has been caused by none.
None. Bro, spice is fucking scary stuff. The shit it makes people do when they like have a bad spice trip. It's fucking crazy.
What do they do?
Type it in on YouTube. Bad spice trip, and you'll see.
Put that shit down. What is that? What is that? What is that? Get it back. What is that? What is that? What is that? Get back, boy. What you got?
Smoke that spice, man. Like, you don't fuck with that spice no more, huh? You want some more spice? Huh?
See man die off
Hey,
it.
Doom Guy, what's up?
I see man on the landing doing crazy things for it.
People would do it on the landing and they would be gone. Like, you would be like, what is wrong with this guy?
Someone needs to cack him, mate. I'm gonna try to get off, look.
Spice can even be put onto paper and prisoners sell it to each other.
£100, you get me? You can see it's all leaking, you get me?
What do you mean spice onto paper? What is that shit? I thought spice was like a weird weed looking like thing.
No, it's legal. Spice is fully legal.
No, I know, but it looks like weed.
It's all
Yeah.
Prisoners sell it to each other.
£100, you get me? You can see
It's where they like,
it's
I
all
don't know, maybe like burn the
leaking, you
paper or
get me?
What going in there, man? You're alright, bro. You're on pause up in there right there.
People who had it would think it was funny to give people, like, a big spliff with it or some stupid shit. So, like, he has a spice attack and goes funny, and it's like, literally that was people's entertainment in there sometimes.
This is what happens when you smoke spice.
If you smoke rice, you get tied up.
The latest data shows over 11,000 18 to 29-year-olds receive treatment for drugs and alcohol in prison during a year. But many others aren't getting help.
They do anything for spice.
Hey,
you get a blowjob for spice. You get anything you want.
Check your DMs. I've sent you a 1-minute clip.
Rockstar.
Maybe this is American, right?
Rockstar. Rockstar. Hey. Rockstar.
Rockstar.
Hey, you're good. Put that shit. You're good. Put that shit down.
Yeah.
Put that shit down. Put it down.
You
Put it down. 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 Put it down, Rob. Put it down, Put it down, Rob. Put it down. Rob, put it down. Rob, who gonna hurt you? Rob. Everybody calm down, bro. Calm down. Okay, everybody calm down. Everybody calm down. Calm down. Calm down.
Bruh. Y'all just gonna end it like that?
That's what spice makes me, bro. Nah, there's like a better one.
Has anyone got spare spice joint I can have? One more.
Yeah, here it is.
One spice joint.
Sorry, this is my videos anyway, so fucking click the link.
Shows how you do it.
There you go. There's one more link for you.
What contrabands did you see in prison?
Wow. What didn't I see? I've seen outside road knives, I've seen phones, I've seen crack, I've seen heroin, I've seen weed, I've seen tobacco, SIM cards, USB stick, everything you can think of.
What would the need for a USB stick be in prison?
There's a few ways all this contraband gets into prison.
You ain't got no fucking anything else like that. Oh yeah, you seen that, bro?
Drones to watch it.
This is how they get shit into prison. They use drones. There's literally a video of they're showing you a video.
Insane, bro.
They're showing you a
Some
video
people
here
use
of someone
drones to
using a
smuggle
drone.
packages in by attaching a parcel and flying them close enough for a prisoner to grab.
It's on the roof, isn't it? Yeah, they can't fly.
But it doesn't always go to plan.
Oh my God. Man down.
Drones can land upside down or in the wrong place.
Drone on the yard.
No
Peak.
man.
These prisoners are fishing for a parcel from their cell.
Get it, man. Come on, lads. Sing it, sing it.
Another, less sophisticated way is just to throw the contraband over the wall. Prisoners then pass it around to stop the officers from getting it. They'll even risk an escape charge to grab packages that have landed in the wrong place.
Parcels landing on the yard and they're just jumping over the wall, lad. That's great, lad. He jumped over the fence there, you know.
Some prisons are trying to put a stop to this by installing nets.
Go on, lads! Go on, lads!
But smugglers have started wrapping parcels and setting them alight so they burn through the netting. Then they can put out the fire and get the contraband.
Take the firebomb out! Grab that shit! Grab it! Look at the netting's on fire! Look at the screws! Fuming!
Some prisoners will go to extreme lengths to get their contraband in.
So what's your darkest memory of prison?
Darkest memory of prison was the day I walked into a cell and someone was being spooned out.
Can you elaborate what spooning means, mate?
Yeah, well, guy was laid on the bed, his legs were in the air, there was a few guys round him and one of them had a plastic spoon inserted into his anus trying to fucking scoop drugs out.
Everyone inside is a convicted criminal, but whoever you are, there's no doubt that prison can take its toll on you mentally. Increasingly, prisoners are opening up about their mental health on camera.
There's nothing in here that we do from inside prison helps. So that people from the outside can help, but the people from the outside don't know what's happening inside.
He wants to take his life now, look, he's on the go.
Some people will do anything to try and get out.
Yo, if you were a drug addict, Keelan, would you do drugs in prison? Oh, I think Keelan's AFK. If you're a drug addict, would you do drugs in Keelan? God damn it.
The wind's gone mad.
It gets tense between prisoners, partly because there's so many locked up. There are over 94,000 people in prison across the UK. The latest stats show that over 20% of prisoners in England and Wales were held in crowded conditions. The government says the prison population might rise to more than 106,000 over the next 4 years. Ideally, prison cells only hold 2 people, but this prisoner is saying he's been locked up with 3 other inmates.
So you all had to use the same one toilet in one cell?
In the toilet, you had a shower in the toilet. We had to use everything which is each other's, the kettle, everything.
And how did you deal with that situation, in the overcrowded situation?
I just tried my best to just stay out of my cellmate's way and just learn to put up with it. Basically, that's it. Just got to put up with it.
When you do get out of prison, usually you don't want to go back. In 2020, Dean was released after spending 5 years inside.
Can you tell me what's going through your head the night before you get released?
So much, like...
Especially spending a long amount of time in
I couldn't sleep, like...
I just knew that, like, all my people, they're going to be waiting outside for me.
Fresh show, man. Come on.
How did you come out of prison?
I came out of jail, like, you know, the works, champagne, cars.
Oh, you're coming again. Ah! Go on, Don.
I think I done that wrong.
I don't know, bro. I feel like maybe let's get this nigga a job before we start spraying him with hella champagne like he's made it. Maybe that's just me.
Well, this is just a celebration, you know what I mean? He's back out into the free world after 5 years of being incarcerated.
The nigga's in flip-flops and a tank top.
That's probably all he went in with.
Let's get him to the house. You know what I'm saying? Let's pop bottles at the house first and shit. You spraying them with all kind of champagne, fresh out of prison?
He did just say he probably did it wrong.
I think I should have done it in a totally different way. I didn't realize that.
That's some shit like you get out of graduation and then they pop bottles out. Yeah. Not prison. You go home and be somber, nigga, because, you know, and then be like, all right, now that I'm out, let's fix it. I don't know.
That took a toll on me as well. Even in that space, I couldn't act like myself. I acted like a different person. I didn't want to do that. But obviously, that's what made my people happy as well. I was coming out and, you know, so I said whatever to make them happy.
Dean's lived a crime-free life for over 3 years now. But that's not the case for everyone. The truth is, over 20% of prisoners reoffend after being released.
So do you feel like prison helps rehabilitate you?
No.
And why?
Because I've always done what I've done and I'll always do what I've done. So for me, there is no rehabilitation for drug dealers.
A lot of prisoners I've spoken to feel like they don't get any rehabilitation on the inside.
There's no real rehabilitation. There's structures in place to look like they are rehabilitating people, like courses that, you know, like I'm guessing the government make them do or whatever, but you're going to these courses and the people aren't even taking it seriously. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone gets the certificate at the end, whether you failed or not. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're not really doing it. They're just going through the motions of it to show that they've done it.
The government pledged to reform the education system in prison, first in 2016 and then in 2019, as part of the Conservative Manifesto. Out of the 85,000 prison population today, just over 50% have completed the courses.
If you can say anything to the government, if you can
did you
send
know,
a message to the government, what would you say?
Ramsey did a prison cooking show.
Purposeful, not just wasting them in workshops.
Yeah, he did
so
a
you're making
cooking show
t-shirts,
with people in a prison.
You're making prison furniture. That's not helping someone prepare for release, do you know what I mean? I feel like that's setting someone up to fail, do you see what I'm saying? All right, for example, me being, before I went to prison, I never had a job. I didn't even know how to get a job or what a job was. Do you see what I'm saying? So why don't we prepare people for these things?
This isn't a place of rehabilitation, this is a place of punishment. And if you don't have a strong mind, then you will be punished in here. And you won't rest. You have to look for ways to progress.
A lot of people are coming out of jail and they've got nowhere to go. So what's going to happen after that? They're still going back and end up committing crimes and that, just so they can survive.
Tons of
But
fucking
they just need to put more things in place. And they say, in prison, it's rehabilitation or whatever, but you got to rehabilitate yourself. They're not doing that for you. You got to want to rehabilitate yourself. Do you know what I mean? And you also got to come out and do that yourself, because you come out and you're going to rely on them, you're going to go back to prison.
These videos from inside prison were uploaded online illegally. The phones come in all shapes and sizes, and some can even pass through metal detectors without getting picked up. A lot of people put them up their arse.
I just love the frankness of it. A lot of people put them up their ass. It's like, bro, yeah, I mean, we know. But usually when we do these prison documentaries, we have to act like we don't know where they come from. Where they're just like, I mean, I don't know how they get them in here. But they do, they get them in.
Almost 8,000 phones were found by prison officers in a year. They can use these scanners to track them down.
If you got any phones, we're taking them off, yeah?
Phones for you.
Yeah.
Have you ever been found with a phone in prison?
Yeah.
What's the process, the punishment process?
You get a day where you go and sit in front of the outside judge, basically, yeah? And basically, you get a chance to explain yourself.
So it's like court?
Yeah, it's basically exactly like court.
If you get caught with a phone inside prison, you're risking extra time added to your sentence.
What's the difference? I think I have like Game Pass Gold or something. What's core?
She gave me the maximum penalty was like 40 or 50 something days, I think.
42 days?
Yeah, 42 days.
Would you say it's worth taking the risk?
What do you mean, though?
Was it worth making those videos?
If you're on your way out, you possibly can do it. But some people do it and they still got 2 years left, which you're just going to get terrorised your whole sentence by the officers in security.
2 years left.
Dean's not the only one who had time added onto his sentence because of his mobile.
Did you get caught?
Yeah, I've only got 5 videos filmed because I had it that little of amount of time.
What did you end up getting? What extra days?
I got 42 extra days for a smartphone. It was great to have, but it just got me 42 extra days, and it cost me £750 to lose what and then lost it after probably 10 weeks of having it.
Did you ever get in trouble for taking these videos?
Yeah, I got 270 extra days for videos, being on social media, taking pictures. Nearly a year extra on my sentence for what? So it's definitely not worth the punishment, do you know what I mean?
I want to interview someone from the government about the state of prisons today.
We're looking for an interview with the Justice Secretary. Would that be possible?
Despite asking a few times over the last few weeks, they wouldn't do it.
Hell no.
So you're not going to be able to facilitate the interview? OK. All right, thanks.
Sir Robert Buckland did agree to sit down with me. He was Secretary of State for Justice and is still a Conservative MP. He was in charge of prisons in England and Wales while I was inside.
Thank you for coming down, though, man.
Well, thank you.
In 2020, the government promised to spend more than $4 billion to make 18,000 new prison places across England and Wales by the mid-2020s.
How confident are you that you're going to meet this target?
Well, I mean, the prison building programme is an ambitious programme. It's one of the biggest programmes in government of that type, spending capital money on building new infrastructure. They're places where I think prisoners can do more with their time and have more of that sense of rehabilitation and purpose.
Do you think it's likely, though?
Well, look, I'm not being close to the figures. I've been out of office in that department for 18 months. I don't know precisely where they are. If they miss it, we'll need an explanation as to why. My view is that everybody should be straining, might and main to get that target met, because we need those places.
The government says they have already delivered over 5,200 new prison places. We asked the Ministry of Justice if they'll meet their target of 18,000 by the middle of this decade, like they promised they would. They told us,
"We are pressing ahead with the biggest and most ambitious expansion of prison places in over a century, ensuring our jails are fit for the future."
As soon as you land here, lads, you're going to get it, your little maggot. You're going to get opened up on site, your little muppets.
In 2019, the government announced a £100 million investment in making prisons safer.
That particular announcement related to what we call described as airport-style security, which is all about being able to not just frisk people coming in and out of prison, but also to use particular scanners to look inside them to see what they might be carrying.
In terms of weapons don't come from reception. Weapons are made in the prison. So what can you do about that?
Now, that's a really good point. You're right to pick me up on that, because I felt very strongly for many years that there were still too many items in prisons that could be adapted into weapons. You and I have seen what can be done with a razor blade, for example. You can see what can be done with the sharpened end of a utensil. Even a toothbrush can be turned into an offensive weapon. And therefore, what we've got to do is anticipate the ways in which these items can be adapted and make them safe.
I show Sir Robert Buckland some clips of the kind of weapons that are inside prison.
some of those items didn't look like merely adapted items from razor blades or toothbrushes. They looked like, weapons. And they would have appeared, as I would have thought, as large items. They should have been detected. That shouldn't be happening.
What about while you were Justice Secretary? How much was spent? How much was
the programme was rolling out. I mean, I don't have the facts and figures at the top of my head, but I was certainly remember being satisfied the programme was being carried out. But as I say, I've not seen the final results of that because I left office, nearly 2 years ago.
All right, well, you announced it in 2019. You left office in 2021, so you must have some idea on what's been spent.
The rollout was happening when I was in office. I haven't seen the final, analysis or outcome of that spend, but I was certainly, when I was in office, I was being reassured and satisfied that the programme was being developed and that machines and items being commissioned.
And the Conservative government has been in power for over 10 years, so the responsibility lies with you. So what's happened?
Well, a lot's happened, and I think, as I was saying, we've come on leaps and bounds. I am more than happy to talk about the increase in funding that I achieved.
This is like the nicest way you can ever press somebody. If this was American, they would be yelling, the responsibility lies with you, sir. And then he would be like, it's not my responsibility. They're fucking savages. Right? And then they would be fucking yelling. But in England, he's like, well, right, the responsibility lies with you. There's just certain things that you can't plan for, right? It's just so fucking pleasant and nice.
Just in terms of security, but in terms of the capital investment that we're making in prisons. Now, I'm not pretending that everything in the garden is lovely.
If a human goat existed.
Investment that we're making in prisons. Now, I'm not pretending that everything in the garden is lovely. It's a huge challenge. And we still, I think, are facing some very big issues in our prisons.
Somebody getting fucking stabbed.
We asked the Ministry of Justice what current plans are in place in English and Welsh prisons to stop things like razor blades and toothbrushes being made into weapons. They told us,
throughout 2022 and 2023, several pilots have tested alternatives to the current wet shave provision and control measures in prisons establishments. Current wet shave provision. Once concluded, the pilots will be evaluated to consider any concerns or issues which may have arisen and measured against the impact they have had on violence and or self-harm. This evaluation will enable us to make informed recommendations on future shaving provisions in prison establishments. So they're really just focusing specifically on the shavings. There are more than just fucking...
We also asked them how much of the £100 million promised almost 4 years ago to make prisons safer has been spent, and what that money was used for. They told us,
this government is doing more than ever to deliver safe and secure prisons that rehabilitate offenders, cut crime, and protect the public. Super vague. We're doing more than ever. Assaults are nearly a third lower than in 2019 as a result of these efforts and our £100 million investment in tough security measures. Including X-ray body scanners, is stopping the weapons, drugs, and phones that fuel the violence behind bars.
I regret the crimes I committed and feel guilty for the people I've caused harm to. Like everyone else on social media, prisoners only show the parts of their lives that they want people to see. What you don't see online is the grim, depressing reality of life inside. It's such a waste. Now that I'm out, I never want to go back.
So really was the point of this documentary to just be like, all right, I don't want to go back to prison. No, I get it though. It was a really good documentary.